Okay, it's time to start the mole. Mole, 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 mole. Are we excited? So, just exactly what is a mole? A mole is a way of measuring stuff. Okay, it's a way of measuring matter. I might say to you a dozen, and that should make you think the number 12. You might measure gas by the gallon, or jelly beans by the kilogram, or apples by the pound at the store. But the point is that when I say the word mole, it needs to make you think of something. And it's not just constrained to one number like a dozen is. If I said a pear, that's 2, a dozen is 12, a baker's dozen is 13. Those are confined to those numbers. But a mole can be more than one thing, and it depends upon what you're talking about, and that's what we'll see a little bit later on. But you can see on here that a mole can be a mass, so it can be an amount of grams of something. So if I said, how much is a mole of that? You might say it's 250 grams. Or I might say, how much is a mole of that? And you would count. It's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd of that thing. Or it could be a volume, liters or milliliters. How much is a mole of that? It's 22.4 liters. Okay, so it's not confined to just a number. It can be a mass, it can be counting, it could be volume. I want you to look at your sheet, your mole help sheet, and you can see there's 3 things on there. You can count, you can find the mass, or you can find the volume, and those are the 3 things that a mole can be. And how to know when to use which one will come with time. Okay? So, let's first start to count with the mole. If you are going to count using the mole, if I said how many of something, how many particles is it, then the mole, the number that is for a mole is called Avogadro's number, and it's not avocado's number. So please do not say it's avocado's number. It has nothing to do with avocados. Okay, it's Avogadro's number, named after Amadeus Avogadro, the scientist who did all the research and came up with Avogadro's number. Okay, so you need to memorize Avogadro's number. It's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power. Okay, if you have that number memorized, you're good to go with counting with the mole. Okay, and so I said on this slide 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd representative particles is equal to 1 mole. Well, a representative particle is what does the thing you are talking about come in. Okay, so a representative particle for the water is a molecule, okay, because water is a molecular compound. A representative particle for iron is an atom, okay, it's an element. So elements are atoms, molecular compounds are molecules, and ionic compounds are called formula units. It could be anything, but those are the 3 main ones. And you can see in the first part of your mole help sheet that the representative particles are atoms, molecules, or formula units. So you have to match it up with the name. If I said how many representative particles of iron do you have, your answer would be if you have 1 mole, I have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of iron, because atoms is the representative particle for iron. Okay, so this is what I was talking about right here. If you have 1 mole, that's equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, either atoms, molecules, or formula units. You choose one based upon what substance you're talking about. If we were talking about magnesium chloride is an ionic compound, so 1 mole of magnesium chloride is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd formula units of magnesium chloride. A formula unit is the unit for an ionic compound. Okay, so let's do some examples, and guess what? Using moles, it's all coming back around now. Comes back to dimensional analysis. Yes! I know you are all cheering at home in front of your computers right now. You're so excited to do dimensional analysis again. So, hopefully you haven't forgotten. Let's recall the steps. Draw what you know. Okay, write what you know to what you want to know. You set up your dimensional analysis, canceling out what you want to cancel out to get to the unit that you want to get to, and then you multiply through and solve. Okay, so let's look at this first example. How many moles of magnesium is 1.25 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of magnesium? First, write what you know. In this case, we know that we have 1.25 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of magnesium, and you really need to get in the habit of labeling completely. If you just write the number, you're going to get all confused, because when we get to stoichiometry, you may have atoms of one thing and atoms of another thing, and if you just wrote atoms, you wouldn't know which atoms you're talking about. So in this case, we're talking about atoms of magnesium. I can abbreviate using the symbol, of course. So 1.25 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of magnesium. What do I want to know? Look for question words. Here it is. How many moles? So question mark, moles of magnesium. And look how convenient. The abbreviation for mole is MOL. Saves so much time cutting off that E, right? So write what you know, write what you want to know, write what you know again. 1.25 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of magnesium times, and then a line. What are we trying to cancel out? Atoms of magnesium. So I put atoms down below. What am I trying to get to? Moles of magnesium. Okay, so looking back at your table, or at your little helper, how do you go from moles to atoms, or from atoms to moles? The number that's next to atoms is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. The number that's next to moles is 1. So let's go back. The number that was next to atoms was 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. I didn't really leave enough room for this. And the number that was next to moles was 1. Okay? Now you multiply through and solve. Take out your calculator. Type in 1.25. Remember, times 10 to the 23rd would be E23. So 1.25 E23 divided by 6.02 E23. And hit enter, and you get an answer of 0.21. And that's moles of magnesium. Okay, there's your answer. Let's do another practice problem. How many atoms are there in 2.12 moles of propane, C3H8? Okay, so it gives us a hint there. We'll look at that in a minute. Again, the first step, write what you know. 2.12 moles of propane, C3H8. What do you want to know? Question mark. Atoms. We want to know how many atoms there are in that. Okay, I want you to pause the video right now and see if you can figure out the answer to this question. Let's check your work. 2.12 moles of C3H8, so we're writing what we know again, times and then a line. We're canceling moles of C3H8. We want to get to atoms. Well, can I go from moles of propane to atoms of propane? The question here is propane, is this an atom? And the answer is no, this is not an atom. What is the representative particle for propane? Well, what kind of compound is this? This is a molecular compound. Okay, so that means that the representative particle is the molecule. So the only thing I can turn a mole of propane into is a molecule of propane. You cannot turn it into an atom of propane. There is no such thing as an atom of propane. An atom is something from the periodic table. Carbon is an atom. Hydrogen is an atom. But when you put them together, they're no longer single atoms, they're molecules. Okay, so the only thing we can do is say that 1 mole of propane is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of propane. So we're not done yet. We have to keep going. Times and then a line. This time I need to cancel molecules of propane, and that I can turn into atoms, because if we look at our hint here, how many atoms are there in 1 molecule of propane? Think about it. C3H8. In 1 molecule, there's 8 hydrogens and 3 carbons, which makes a total of 11 atoms in that molecule. Okay, so this was kind of a challenge, because you really have to think about what is going on here. When you multiply this out, 2.12 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd times 11, you get an answer of 1.4 times 10 to the 25th atoms. And it's not atoms of propane. It's not atoms of anything. It's just total atoms. Okay, that you could get real specific and say atoms of carbon and hydrogen, but you don't need to do that. Are you confused yet? This is going to take lots and lots of practice, as always. So let's do some more practice. See if you can answer this question on your own right now. Hit pause, try it. How many atoms are there in 1.14 moles of SO3? Let's do the work. 1.14 moles of SO3. This is kind of the same problem as the last one. What do we want to know? How many atoms there are? 1.14, write what you know again. Times and then a line. Again, moles of SO3 can only be turned into molecules. Okay, if this was an ionic compound, then we'd be turning it into formula units of whatever compound we're doing. If this was an atom, then, if it was an element, then we'd be turning it into atoms straight. Okay, so 1 mole is always equal to, if we're counting, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And in 1 molecule of SO3, we have 3 plus 1, so 3 oxygens, 1 sulfur makes 4 atoms total. Multiply it out, you get an answer of 2.745 times 10 to the 24th atoms. There's your answer. I say we do one more. What about you? You kind of don't have a choice. So, how many moles are there in 4.65 times 10 to the 24th molecules of NO2? Again, pause the video, try it, and then check. That's the best way to learn, is to try it on your own first. Let's see if you got it right. Write what you know. 4.65 times 10 to the 24th molecules of NO2. We want to know how many moles that is of NO2. Again, we're labeling completely. Do not get lazy in your labeling. 4.65 times 10 to the 24th molecules of NO2 times and then a line. We want to cancel molecules. Can I turn molecules directly into moles? The answer in this case is yes, because NO2 is a molecule. It's not a formula unit, and it's not an atom. So 1 mole of that is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. Notice 1 is always next to moles. Okay? You'll never put any other number next to moles yet, other than 1. So in this case, we have solved our problem in one easy step. So you take your 4.65 times 10 to the 24th and divide that by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, and you should get in your calculator 7.72 moles of NO2. Okay, make sure that you can get that. And it's a good idea to always put a box around your final answer. Okay, how are we doing? Up next, in the next lecture, you'll be learning how to convert from moles into mass. So we've done moles into counting. 1 mole is always 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Up next will be moles into grams. 1 mole could equal 250 grams of something, and we'll learn how to do that.